here I am on a beautiful Brighton beach on a Sunday morning. Bands are warming up over there. The streets are closed and they're ready for the UK's happiest half, the Brighton half. I'm going to ignore these tarmac warriors. Come with me on a 10-mile trail run around the wonderful West Sussex countryside.
1, 2, 3, tell me how to go, because you look so fine and I really want to make you mine.
That'll do for me. Isn't that fantastic? That was ew. Got all tingly. Where's this guy finished? Small dog. You find out what you're made of. Frying bacon. Today you find me in the lovely West Sussex town of Amberley near Arundel. Why I'm here I'll explain in a minute. But let's go under the main railway line. Oh, it's shut. Balls. Okay. I was hoping to come out of that little tunnel, but it's closed at the moment. Fields are pretty flooded. So why have I just spent 3 hours in a car driving from Hertfordshire down to nearly Brighton? Well, my oldest wants to go to a gig in Brighton. I said I'd bring him down, pay for a travel lodge, because it doesn't end till silly o'clock in the morning, and then we can do it all nice and safe. Why did the chicken cross the road? Could have the lost runner coming back the way he's just gone. Nice here, isn't it? So what's the route? Well, there's a company called Maverick. I've raced them before, raced them around in the New Forest at the beginning of 2023, and I marshalled for them in the Chilterns, and they do a 10-mile night race around here, and this is it. But because theirs is really quite hilly to start with and finishes nice and flat, I thought I'd do it the other way around, so I'm running it backwards. So let's see how we get on. But I completely miscalculated the amount of rain there's been and the amount of water there's going to be, so we're only a couple of miles in and feet completely soaking. It is beautiful though, isn't it? The Dark Skies event was only 3 weeks ago, but I can't believe they ran this in the night with just head torches. They must have deferred the route or something, but I've stopped worrying about keeping my feet dry, let me put it that way.
That's the way to do it.
How deep down there?
I think it's probably about another half mile or so that way. Once it starts to go up the hill, you're all right, but well, it's still on the flat. Here we go. At least it's pretty. Let's just get on and hope that as soon as we can get running. So we're back out. We're going back down this path, which looks though as if it's away from the field, although pretty muddy. Still too slimy to run. Should have brought my Walsh PB Ultra fell shoes. I'm not sure I thought this run route through properly. Have a good day. Right. So a mile of wading through mud and then a steep up climb. Gotta love trail running, haven't you? Running! So the South Downs, where we are, just on the edge of them, are chalk downs. Anywhere where there's chalk or limestone, the production of lime for fertiliser and for making mortars and things like that is big business. So you may remember that from the Gower Peninsula, a run that I did, where they used to do those lime kilns and sell it to the North Devonians. Nice flock of sheep. So we're now just over 3 miles and we're coming down to the village of Burpham. I assume it's pronounced Burpham. Makes me chuckle to call it Burpham. Might be Burpham, I don't know. You'll also notice a lot of flint. These walls are flint walls. These houses are flint. And you can see there's flint between the bricks in that one. Flint is something that you find in chalk areas. I guess that's why you get a lot of Neolithic settlements in chalky areas. Neolithic being Stone Age, because they used to use the flints, like in this wall here. They used to use the flints for tools. These bags here almost certainly contain some stuff called silage, and silage is fermented grass. So it's like sauerkraut for cows, but it's not vinegary. If you ferment it in anaerobic conditions, so without air, it's good. But if you let air in, it goes manky and it becomes horrid fermentation, which basically goes rotten. So they secure it in those plastic bags. Here's the stream. Which way it's supposed to go through there is anybody's guess. Nice. Steep. You maybe can't see it, there's definitely rain coming in over there. You just see everything fading out. Here's a flock of sheep just being let into the field. Now there was no gate back there, so I can only assume that they're intending to move the sheep down towards the farm, which would make sense if it's lambing time. Yeah, they look quite pregnant sheep. So I think these are in-lamb ewes being brought onto some fresh grass, protected relatively near the farm in preparation for lambing in the next couple of weeks or so. So we're just now going along the side of this thing which is called Perry Hill. We're going to get up to a place called Burpham, or Burpham High Barn, up at the top here, and then cut across and go down and back up again, which are going to be the steep climbs to get back to Amberley. We're about 4.5 miles in of what is effectively I think about a 9-mile run. Sorry, just trying to avoid the mud and the puddles. Isn't this lovely though, with blue sky over there, darker clouds. Clearly we've got rain coming there, and then over there where we came from you can probably see the sun glinting off the water in the waterlogged fields, and then right over there I'm imagining that's somewhere like Worthing and the English Channel, which is nice. Oh, it's all a bit of fun, isn't it? Listen, what can you hear? Nothing. Fantastic, isn't it? That's why we come trail running. Just having a chat there with a lovely cyclist who we were saying how magnificent it is to see a rainbow where you're so close to it that the rainbow appears to finish in the field rather than go to the horizon, and how muddy it is. And this is why we do it, because everybody else who's sat at home going, isn't the weather terrible, they're missing out on all this. Next week, of course, I'm doing the Up on the Downs, which is a half marathon, trail marathon, over on the Hampshire, Wiltshire, Dorset borders, Tri-Counties trail running, and really looking forward to that. It's another one where I'm going to do a really early start on that, get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, drive down, do the run, drive back again. So today's all good practice. So here we go, I think this is the high point, and then we've got a bit of a downhill to do. Yeah, that looks nice, doesn't it? Come on then. All along here on the map there's signs of tumuli and earthworks, which regular viewers will know. Tumuli are these Bronze Age and Iron Age burial mounds. The Iron Age is from about the years of 500 going back to about 50,000 BC, something like that, BCE, and then the Bronze Age is a couple of thousand years before that, going back to maybe 2,500 BCE, and then before that is the Stone Age. So the late Stone Age, the Neolithic people were here making flint axes maybe 6,000 years ago. Flipping heck. And of course you're going to think that those late Stone Age farmers with their flint axes, you're going to imagine that they'd been here on this little island of ours for many years, because obviously people didn't travel internationally in those days, did they? Well, yeah, they did. Those late Stone Age people actually came from mainland Europe. There was some mass migration about 4000 BC, and they pretty much wiped out or totally replaced the native hunter-gatherers that were here from the Middle Stone Age. So mass migration from continental Europe 6,000 years ago. Can't get my head around that sometimes. Nearly 8 miles out of 10 now, and we're gonna head up, beat the South Downs way up at the top, and then pretty much head back to Amberley. This kind of conditions, these hard-packed farm tracks, flint tracks. This is where my Innovate Park claws come into their own. Just that little bit of extra padding and slightly less chunky grip means it's a lot more comfortable underfoot than the Welsh's would have been. So this is why it's a 50-50 shoe choice. It's lovely just looking at the sun. We're out of the sun just here, but the sun is just above us. Let's have a look at these. What do we think? Yeah, I think they look quite vine-like. So yeah, I think that's an early stage vineyard. And that is a shotgun. This path is just a quagmire, so running on the grass, which is pretty tiring but an awful lot cleaner. Alright, sheeps. Hiya.
Hello. Nearly there.
Look at all that waterlogging. Just incredible, isn't it? Nearly there. One thing that I haven't mentioned about Amberley village, which you don't actually get to run through, but it's actually famed for its thatched cottages. There's an inordinate number of the houses in the village are thatched. And there's one particular house that's called the Thatched House, and it's one of the very few that isn't thatched. Now, I like that sense of humour. So I think if anything illustrates the difference between road running and trail running, this last mile is it. So I'm ending my run where I started, at Amberley Station and Museum. And the museum is a fantastic place. I've just misjudged all this, so I haven't got the chance to go round it, but if you get the chance, come and have a look. It's all old ancient workings and things, and you can see that there's quite the... oh fuck, I'm locked in. So rather disappointingly, when I get back, I find the car park is locked. Believe it or not, a carefully driven Volvo will just fit through here. So I've just taken my car through here and out the other side. So it may not have done the paintwork a great deal of good, but otherwise I'd have been stuck here. I think that's wrong, that there is no way out when you're as isolated as this. It's now Monday morning, and that was Saturday's run done and dusted. About 10 miles, give or take, including some of the detours I had to make, walking and running and slipping and sliding. And actually I really enjoyed it. And the gig went well, everybody tucked up in bed by 4 AM. And then we came home yesterday after watching a bit of the half marathon. I'm only on a half day today, so I'm getting a little leg loosener in before trying to do some more editing. Thanks ever so much for joining me on this run. I really hope you can join me on another one. The next one is, of course, up on the Downs Trail Half Marathon next weekend. Look forward to seeing you then.